It is the 11th anniversary of Manny Pacquiao's knockout over Ricky Hatton. I think most people will agree that this is and will remain the greatest knockout of the Filipino's career. 2 rounds, 1 punch, boom, lights out. I was having a house party at the time and managed to quickly collect some of my other boxing mates in their drunken haze and then take them to my room where I had an awful stream on the go. I mean, the resolution and lag was terrible. But as bad as it was back in 2009, there was no confusion over what happened in the ring very quickly. I did favour Manny Pacquiao before the fight to win in about 7 rounds, but more of a TKO with cuts, a bit of a battering. Perhaps Ricky Hatton was still on his feet. But what happened, being floored twice in the first round and then just blasted in round 2, was just... it was shocking. And it was one of those knockouts where in the moments just after it, you were a little bit concerned for Ricky Hatton's health. I don't think Ricky Hatton could have ever have done anything to beat Manny Pacquiao at that point. But he didn't do himself any favours with the way that he just kept rushing him. It didn't seem there was a lot of thought to what he was doing. Kept eating that right hook from Pacquiao on the way in. I mean, he was stunned a few times before he got floored. He was just walking into a mincing machine. And that pairing he had, having the trainer of Floyd Mayweather Sr., it's like that was a car crash of a fighter and a trainer. He was trying to do a Rocky 3 on him, which we know can't work. If you've seen Rocky 3, Rocky Balboa goes from a slugger into some dancing master, some pugilist specialist in one training camp. It doesn't work like that. And the kind of things Floyd Mayweather Sr. was trying to teach Ricky Hatton, they could just never convert. It was terrible. Ricky Hatton probably could have done a little bit better. But the way he approached that fight, I think, just made it even worse. But you have to give it to Manny Pacquiao, of course. His speed at that point, when you watch it back now, of course, Pacquiao's still fighting. He's still a champion. But you watch him back in 2009, and it's hard to track some of those right hooks that he throws. They're so quick. They just zip in. He was so nimble and quick with the trigger. It was pretty damn scary. After the knockout, because it was a bit of a humiliating defeat, wasn't it? Our very own Ricky Hatton kind of went into depression. The Mayweather fight was easier to digest. He went 10 rounds. He gave Mayweather a bit of trouble before eventually being beaten. But with Pacquiao, he just got humiliated. He got taken out like he was not a world-class fighter. And who knows, it's something that's always going to sting, but it took a while for Ricky Hatton to get over that. Of course, he had the silly comeback against Senchenko. But some people go overboard and they look at the likes of that Pacquiao fight and try to say that Ricky Hatton was no good. But you can't have it both ways. It can't be the best knockout of Manny Pacquiao's career and Ricky Hatton's a bum. That doesn't work. It's either not a great knockout and Hatton's a bum, or it is a great knockout, which is what it was. And Ricky Hatton was also a fantastic fighter in his own right. I think after that first loss to Mayweather, where he was in his career, he was a little bit confused. It didn't have as much direction. He goes into the Pacquiao fight with a silly game plan. And I don't think he ever would have beaten Pacquiao at that point. But it just made it that much worse. And it was just, even though Pacquiao was the favourite, it was just shocking. It really did send shockwaves throughout the boxing world to see that hellacious left hook. And it was beautifully set up by Pacquiao because he just did that little step to the left to give himself that space and to open up the angle more on Hatton's right side before uncoiling with that left hand. Classic fight. It's good to see Hatton still training. It's amazing to see Pacquiao still fighting. Where were you when you saw the big knockout?